Okay, welcome trigonometry students to evaluating trig expressions. I have an example here. And what we're going to have to do is figure out what the sine of 7 pi over 6 is. And this is straight off of the unit circle. So let me show you how all of this works, because you'll have to do 6 of these tonight for homework. So 7 pi over 6, what we need to do is probably figure out how many degrees that is. So I'm going to do that over here. So if I have 7 pi over 6, and I convert this to degrees, we've had tests on this, and most people think this is pretty simple. We're going to multiply that by the conversion factor of 180 over pi. So the pi's would cancel, and we see that the 6 and the 180 are divisible there by 6. It would go into 6 once and into 180 30 times. So this turns out to be a 210 degree angle. And that should sound familiar, right? We've done this on the unit circle. So let me sketch what that would probably look like. Get a nice color here, something that's not green. Okay, so this is very, very visual. And if you try to do this without, let me do that again. If we try to do this without looking at it visually, you're going to have problems on this. So let's think about this for a minute. If you have a 210 degree angle, that means that here's, of course, the 0 degree mark, and this is 90, and this is 180, and this is 270. So 210 is going to be in here somewhere. And I ask you, what quadrant is that? That's quadrant 3. Quadrant 3. So this would be 210 degrees. So that's going to be right, maybe like that right there. That was perfectly straight, by the way, right there. So this is going to be a 210 degree angle. I'm going to erase this, but there's 180 and there's 210. So it spins just over halfway around. Now, I ask you to tell me the answer to that question. How long is that angle right there? That would be, if you have 180 and you're going to 210, well, it would just be 210 minus 180, which is 30 degrees. So this would be 30 right here. That would be a 30 degree angle. Then, like all reference angles, we take this point and we connect it straight up, forming what's known as our reference angle. So we are back to this stuff. The unit circle is not going away until we get out of chapter 6. So this right here is known as our reference triangle. So if this is 30 and we're talking about this thing here, which is going to be our unit circle, that means that this hypotenuse length is 1, right? So this should be real familiar to you. We know that the side opposite the 30 is half of the hypotenuse. So that would be 1/2 units long. And we know that the adjacent side here, from having test after test on it, is going to be radical 3 over 2. So if you need to review how to get those two blue numbers right there, the 1/2 and the radical 3 over 2, go back and watch the other stuff on how to do that, because we've been there, done that. Now we need to worry about assigning negatives to this. So we can see that this is moving left on the x-axis, so that would be negative. And this is moving down on the y-axis, so that would be negative. So we need to assign those values, okay? So you're probably going to have to brush up on that a little bit tonight, but hopefully this looks really familiar to you. Now, the only thing we have to do, it's actually easy once you get it to this point, because what we have to do is figure out what the sine of that is. And of course, remember, the sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So all we have to do, if this is our answer blank, is figure out what the opposite side over the hypotenuse is. The opposite side of the 30 is, of course, negative 1/2, and the hypotenuse would be 1. Okay? The opposite side would be negative 1/2, and the hypotenuse is 1, so that would be negative 1/2 over 1, which is negative 1/2. And that would be the sine of 7 pi over 6. So you'll have several different kinds of these problems tonight, and hopefully that'll help. Go back and watch it again if you need to. Have a good one.